Good morning, friends. Greetings and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 32 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system, it is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we are here for you. If you have questions about the longevity products, health challenge you or a loved one is dealing with, if you have questions about our Truth Skin Health products, ingredients, formulations, or a comment or success story, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side, 844-236-6010. We love hearing from you, 844-236-6010. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on The Bright Side, you can go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can also sign up directly from the websites. If you'd like to join the Bright Side Ben team for a one-time $25 fee, you can start a longevity business, be in business for yourself if you're an entrepreneur, if you're entrepreneurially minded. If you like being an entrepreneur, you like the idea of working for yourself, of being your own boss, of working in your PJs or your underwear, right in your living room, making money whenever you want to make money. That's what being an entrepreneur is about. Oh, it's not that easy. There's definitely stuff that comes with it, and it's not for the timid. Being an entrepreneur is not for the timid, that's for sure. But if you like the little adrenaline buzz of being successful, the little adrenaline buzz of earning your own way, of making your own money, it's the best lifestyle there is. I've been an entrepreneur since I was a kid, basically, and it's not for everybody, but if you are that way, you definitely want to check out the longevity business, especially if you're listening to this program and you're an entrepreneur and you haven't checked out the longevity business. What are you waiting for? At least take a look at it. For a one-time $25 fee, you can be part of a mission and make money at the same time. It's a complete win-win for you and for whoever you're helping out. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. We are talking about the digestive system, energy, really about energy. That's what we're talking about here. Disease is somehow the body not leveraging energy correctly. We take this for granted, the idea that our body can energize itself. Well, not energize itself, but derive energy from what we put inside of it. That's basically how the body works. We derive our energy from oxygen and from food. That's how you derive your energy, oxygen and food, or I should say oxygen and stuff you ingest through your mouth and through your digestive system. And the body does the rest. That's so important. We don't need to be fixed. We need to be fed. We're not sick. We're starving. We're missing the raw materials the body needs to derive energy, or we're not deriving energy correctly, or both, because they help each other. Energy helps the body derive energy, because energy helps the digestive system. It's all about energy. It's all about how we get energy. Food is broken down. Oxygen is just oxygen. You breathe it. All right? Now, if you have a problem breathing, that's a whole other issue. But for most people, that's not a big problem. You breathe the oxygen. That gets in there. The issue comes with the food. So you eat the food. The food's got an energy component, and then it's got magical pixie dust that helps the energy work. All right, not magical pixie dust, we call micronutrients, but they might as well be magical pixie dust with how they work. The point being that the micronutrients help the macronutrients, the energy, work, and all of our food today is micronutrient deficient. We have plenty of the macronutrients, not enough of the micronutrients. That means the body can't use the energy correctly. That means cells cannot use the energy correctly. That means cells cannot do their business, and that's called being sick. And that's how it works. And all of the nutrients, all the micronutrients, all the vitamins, all the minerals, they all work as a team to help the body derive energy from the protein and the fats and the carbs. They all work together as a team. I was talking to somebody yesterday on the phone, and they said to me, well, I heard niacin's good for the heart, and this person doesn't have a heart problem, so I'm not going to suggest the niacin. That's not how it works. Yes, niacin's good for the heart, but it doesn't mean you take niacin for the heart. I hate this idea of this for that. I call it this for that. Oh, you have a heart problem? Take magnesium. Oh, you have arthritis? Take essential fatty acids. Oh, you have dementia? Take the B complex. That's called this for that. It's not how the body works. The body takes all of these micronutrients, it uses the micronutrients to help the body process the macronutrients, that produces energy, and the energy is used by all the cells. If you're sick, that's not happening. So we all need everything. Now, in an ideal world, we'd all be eating whole foods that have the exact amount of micronutrients matched up with the macronutrients. That's a whole food. In an ideal world, we'd just be eating the berries and picking the apples and killing the animals or the wild game and eating them fresh, and everything would be hunky-dory. But that's not the world we live in. We live in a world where it's impossible to get the appropriate amount of micronutrients unless you add them, i.e. supplement them to your diet. That's what supplementation is. And I wish we didn't have to do it. I wish we lived in a perfect world where that was not necessary. Forget it. We don't live in that world. We live in an imperfect world where supplementation is not only critical, it's not only important, but it's life-changing if your body has been deficient, which is most of us. If your body's been deficient in the micronutrients, you've been getting the macronutrients, it is life-changing to get on a supplement program. Because all of a sudden now, your body can take advantage of all that energy that's trapped in the protein and the fat and the sugar. Now, if you've been supplementing, you may not notice as significant a difference as if you haven't been supplementing. If you've been supplementing, and most of you guys out there have, you may not notice a life-changing benefit, but you'll certainly notice a benefit if you do it correctly. And if you have been doing it incorrectly, you might as well just not be doing it at all. And most people are doing it incorrectly. Perhaps present company excluded. But most people, even if they're supplementing, so you got people who don't even know about supplementing, you got people who supplement incorrectly. They get on a supplement program, it is completely transformative. They lose weight, more energy, pain disappears, better sleep, better sex, better thinking. Every marker of health improves when you get on a supplement program if you've never been on one before. Your blood pressure drops. I mean, it's amazing. It's mind-blowing. And that's why if you go to conventions, longevity conventions, you hear these success stories. And you say, this can't be. It's not like this. Yes, it is. I was listening to a talk today, or early this morning, about why drug prices are so high. There was a bunch of professors or experts, drug experts at Harvard University. It was a forum. They were all talking about why drug prices are so high. And I'm not going to tell you the whole thing because it's really kind of interesting, and you can Google it probably, why drug prices are so high, Harvard Forum, something along those lines. Anyway, they talk about how drug prices are so high because doctors, or at least one of the reasons why drug prices are so high, because doctors don't know of any alternatives. This is how this is what they're taught to believe, and there's a disconnect between them and the patients. And they don't really see the effect of the drugs, the cost of the drugs. They were talking about the cost of the drugs. I'm saying they don't even see the effects of the drugs on the patients. So that nobody should be on 18 drugs or 13 drugs or 12 drugs, but they're taking drugs to take care of the side effects of the other drugs. So in any case, it's not about drugs. There's nothing drugs can do. Drugs cannot help the body utilize energy. And if disease is about energy, it's not a drug issue. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Got to take a break. We'll be back with more good health information right after this. the bright side. Pharmacist Ben here. 844-236-6010 is our number, and we do have lines open for you. 844-236-6010. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised or recommended on the bright side, go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, and click on the Join the Team link if you want to start a longevity business for a one-time $25 fee at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can also call 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. And don't forget to check out our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com. Our Truth formulations, I think there's 6 or 7 or 8 of them now on the website. The Truth products are the culmination of my 35 years of formulating products. Everything I learned and know about skincare and skin health, topical skincare and topical skin health is immersed in every Truth formulation. All of my Truth formulations are based on ideas that I developed in my compounding pharmacy when I was healing, using topical or creating topical products to heal the skin, to actually grow tissue. Truth products, Truth treatments are about growing tissue. I know that might not sound too sexy, but that's exactly what we're doing. We're growing tissue topically. That means anti-aging. That means collagen production. That means healing. In fact, that's the main idea. That's the main theme of everything I do, and the main, most important concept that I learned in the compounding pharmacy is that when you heal the skin, you beautify the skin. Everything we want in a beauty product and an anti-aging product, you can get in a healing product. And if you can't put your anti-aging cream on a cut and accelerate the healing, that ain't an anti-aging cream. Don't waste your money. All our Truth Skin Health products are at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. All right, so we're talking about macronutrition, micronutrition, energy in the body, deficiencies in energy producing or molecules that facilitate the body's ability or a cell's ability to get energy. All this happens, by the way, in something called the mitochondria. The mitochondria. Love that term. More and more you're hearing about the mitochondria and the mitochondrial relationship to aging. The mitochondria are the energy-producing structures inside a cell. So all this stuff that we're talking about, how cells are deriving energy from food and from oxygen and from with the help of micronutrients, it's all about the mitochondria. These are fascinating little structures. They call them the energy furnaces, but that does not even begin to describe the unbelievable awesomeness of the mitochondria. These tiny little structures. You can have cells really small, right? Cells are 1/100th the size of a head of a pin. That's pretty tiny. Divide a pin by 100, the head of a pin by 100, you get about the size of a cell. Well, guess what? There's like 1,000 mitochondria, or anyway, anywhere from 100 to 1,000 mitochondria in every cell. Independent. And guess what? The mitochondria are like their own little organism. They got their own genetics, their own DNA. They're like an independent organism. Oh yeah, they were an independent organism at one time. They just merged with cells, and that's how we got animal cells. There's two kinds of cells. You got there's more than that, but basically there's two kinds of cells. You got animal cells and you got bacterial cells. Those are basically the two kinds of cells, or microbial cells, if you want to throw yeast in there. The difference between the two is the mitochondria. The mitochondria, somehow or another, used to be a bacterial cell, and they merged with another type of cell, and boom, you got an animal cell. And now, to this day, these mitochondria are independent, and they are key players in how healthy we are or how fast we age. And this is why mitochondrial medicine and mitochondrial nutrition is set to be the next big thing. It's already pretty big among people in the know, but you're going to start to hear more and more. This is the way these health fads start. Ketogenic diet, paleo diet, all of these things. What other interesting health fads? Low salt. Well, no, let's throw that one out because that one's a scam. Sometimes scams start out that way too. But anyway, in medicine and in health, people in the know hear about things 10 years before, 15 years before. I was talking about topical vitamins 15, 20 years ago, and now you can see topical vitamins everywhere. Topical vitamin C, another one. The skincare world is filled with this phenomenon. This phenomenon happens all the time, where people in the business know about something, and then all of a sudden it catches on, and everybody starts hearing about it. So anyway, mitochondrial medicine is set to be the next big thing, or mitochondrial nutrition. The key way to take care of your mitochondria is be very careful with your sugar. That's how you take care of your mitochondria. The mitochondria are where the sugar does its business. If you don't have the micronutrients and you're eating lots of sugar, you're going to be in trouble at the level of the mitochondria. Mitochondria, because there's lots of energy happening in the mitochondria, and that's a dangerous situation. The mitochondria are uniquely equipped to handle all that energy. The cells themselves cannot handle all that energy. What the mitochondria do is they take all that random chaotic energy, they combine it with vitamins, and they excrete a very stable piece of energy. And that stable piece of energy is what all the cells in the body use. That stable piece of energy. So you got sugar or fat, you got oxygen, and that represents a very combustible combination. Even if it's microscopic, it's quantum really, but sub-microscopic. It's still combustible. The mitochondria package that, they blend the two together, and they release, or they secrete, or they excrete a stable form of energy that the body can then use. That stable form of energy is a molecule that's called energy currency, because it's a stable form of energy that all the cells can use safely. It's called ATP. You may have heard of it. ATP is the end product of all that work in the mitochondria. The mitochondria take the crazy, chaotic energy from the sugar and the oxygen. They combine it with the micronutrients that you ingest, hopefully. And then they secrete this stable form of energy that the cells can then use safely called ATP. If you're sick, that ain't happening. If you're really, really sick, check this out. If you're really, really sick and you've been depriving these mitochondria of what they need for so long, what will end up happening is the cell itself will change over. It will completely transform how it uses energy, and instead of using oxygen for energy, it will only use sugar or primarily use sugar for energy. That's called a cancer cell. Cancer is a mitochondrial phenomena. Cancer is the end result of mitochondrial dysfunction. That's pretty big. So what I'm saying here, folks, is it's all about energy. Work on energy. How do you work on energy? Not with drugs. Can the doctor do anything? Is there any surgical procedure that can improve energy production? Is there anything in medicine that can improve energy production? Let me think for a sec. No, nothing. That's the failure of medicine. It's not addressing the fundamental cause. It's just masking the symptoms pharmacologically. It's a scam. It's not fair. And even if it does relieve pain, maybe, and we do want to relieve pain, and even if it does kill bacteria sometimes, we do want to do those sometimes. The medicines that we take long term for all our health challenges can do nothing to make us better, because at the fundamental level, it's all about energy, and that's a food, oxygen, and mitochondrial issue. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back with your phone calls right after this. On the bright side, Pharmacist Ben, 844-236-6010 is our number. We got lines open for you. If you're on hold, we'll get to you momentarily. 844-236-6010 is our number. Love this article here. The expert review of clinical pharmacology. No connection between LDL cholesterol levels and heart disease, according to researchers. What? Oh my God, let's read that again. No connection between LDL cholesterol levels and heart disease, according to researchers. A new review of published research from an international group of physicians and researchers is challenging the half-century-long belief that LDL, the so-called bad kind of cholesterol, causes heart disease. Now, just like before we went to break, I was talking about how sometimes you hear about there's health fads that come out that people in the know have known about for decades before, like mitochondrial medicine and mitochondrial nutrition. The reverse is also true. After 50 years of baloney, more, 60 or 70 years of baloney. Let's see, one was this cholesterol hypothesis and the lipid hypothesis, the 1950s, so probably late 40s, early 50s, whatever that is, 60 years plus. We've been talking about this nonsense, this stupidity, and because there's billions of dollars, maybe trillions of dollars when you add it all up, invested in this ridiculous idea that you can lower your cholesterol pharmacologically and be better off for it, nobody's thinking the obvious. The body is making cholesterol for a reason. LDL cholesterol is important stuff. It's important for the immune system especially. And because heart disease and disturbed arteries and distorted blood vessels are the end result and the cause of, they're both the end result and the cause of immune activity. By suppressing LDL, supposedly you get better because you're suppressing the immune activity. But that's not a good thing. The cause of heart disease is the cause of everything else. The body is breaking down. Don't blame the molecules that are there. That's idiotic. That's how pharmacology works. It blames the molecules that are present at the scene of the destruction. So the body's deteriorating, the body's just being destroyed. There's molecules that show up in response, and the drug model suppresses those molecules. That's how it works. That's why drugs have to be toxic. They're suppressing things that are supposed to be happening. The problem isn't the things that are happening. The problem is the cause of the things that are happening. In the case of heart disease, it's deteriorating blood vessels. Along the same veins, this made big news a couple of weeks ago. Daily low-dose aspirin shows no proven benefit for healthy older adults and may be dangerous. It's a blood thinner. It causes excess bleeding. It's not a blood thinner like vitamin E and omega-3 fatty acids. I had a lady say yesterday, I'm going to surgery. My doctor told me not to take vitamin E and omega-3s. That's dumb. That's dumb. That's doctors thinking that nutrients are like drugs. They're not. Omega-3 fatty acids are powerfully anti-inflammatory. If you deprive yourself of them, you're depriving yourself of a major tool for the healing process post-surgery. Same with vitamin E. You need them even more when you're having surgery, not less. So anyway, now aspirin, they say, shows no proven benefit and may actually be a problem, and may actually be toxic. No drugs are beneficial in the long term. In the short term, as a Band-Aid, to prevent further damage from living a bad life, maybe, at best. But to keep people on drugs, and this drug thing, I was talking about how I was listening to this webinar earlier this morning from Harvard about why drug prices are so high. Why are drug prices so high? You know the reason they're so high? Because the market will bear it. It's whatever the market will bear, and the market will bear for a couple reasons. Number one, it bears it because we get this fear driven into us that if we don't take the drugs, we're going to be at higher risk for heart disease, or we're going to die even. The flu vaccine, doctors will tell you, okay, well, when you're dead because you had the flu, literally. My friend told me this. She said she's in nursing school. She says, I have to take the flu shot. And I said, and she said, well, I don't think I should have the flu shot. It doesn't really work, blah, blah, blah. The doctor actually threatened death. The death was a likely possibility. Of course it's a likely possibility, but it doesn't mean the flu vaccine saves you from dying. You can die if you have the flu, but it's rare, almost impossible. You have to be really sick for that to happen. So we get the fear thing, and then because we don't always pay for our drugs, you end up with insurance paying for everything. And because insurance pays for everything, nobody thinks about the cost because you're paying for it's $10. But ultimately, we're all paying for it. It's not free. It comes to taxes and other insurance premiums. Government's a payer, and insurance companies are payers, and we're all paying for them. There's no free drugs, even if you're only paying $10 for your copay or getting them for free. Somebody's paying for them, and you're paying for them somehow. The point of the matter is you're paying for stuff that is being foisted upon us fraudulently because we're told that we need these things. Nobody needs drugs. You may have to be on them in the very, very short term to correct damage, but there's no inherent need for them. Not like nutrients. Nutrients, there is a built-in requirement, and if you're sick, that should be the first place that you look, in my humble opinion. All right, sorry for that rant, but a lot of things got me going here today. Basically, I was listening to that webinar this morning. It really got me going. Anyway, 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's say good morning to Jeff, OCD Jeff in California. What's up, Jeff?
Ben, how's it going?
It's going good. How you doing, man? How's that OCD?
Good. Well, it's rolling harder than ever. Hey,
Is it okay? All right, I'm glad. Yeah. But you're doing it in a good way. You're using it to study.
I am learning. Yeah, totally good way. Thank God. It's not always been like that in life, but now it is.
I love that.
Because you know how valuable your opinion is to me. I've learned so much from you. I have a client of mine who is, she's 50 years old, so she's trying to lose weight, but she's diagnosed with cold urticaria for her whole life, and she had.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. What is she diagnosed with? Say that again.
Cold urticaria.
Urticaria. Okay, gotcha. Itching.
Yeah.
Okay.
She had, of course, the medical model used radioactive
prednisone,
iodine and killed her thyroid.
Okay.
And the doctors killed her thyroid. She has no thyroid.
Well, that's terrible.
So I want to just run. Yeah, I know. And I want to run.
Was the urticaria?
Just to make sure I'm up.
Hey, let me ask you something, Jeff. Was the urticaria before she was radiated or after?
Way before, since she was a kid.
So she's had urticaria all her life.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
And
why did they take her?
It is getting a little better.
What tell me about the thyroid. Hang on, though, Jeff. Let me ask you a couple. I want to ask you a couple questions. Why did they radiate her thyroid? Did she have Graves' disease or hyperthyroidism?
Yep.
Was it?
Yep.
She had Graves' disease.
Yeah.
Okay. So now she doesn't have a thyroid, and of course now she's a big mess. Urticaria is very interesting. Urticaria is just chronic itching. It's just a Latin term for chronic itching. And there's a couple things at play, but guess which system. I'll let you guess which system, and I'll explain how it all works here. Guess which system is involved when you have urticaria, primarily involved.
The digestive.
Bingo. And I'll explain how that whole works. We got to take a break, Jeff, but I'll explain all that, how it all works when we come back. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Got lines open, 844-236-6010. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. Side talking to my friend Jeff in California. Hey, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
All right. So here's the dealio. Itching involves stimulation of nerves in the skin. That's what itching is about. There's specific itch nerves that are stimulated, and in response to that stimulation, we feel the sensation to scratch. These itch nerves respond to molecules that are found in the body's immune system, especially something called histamine. You probably heard of that, but there's other things too.
I have.
But histamine is one of the most famous. Steroids can do it. I shouldn't say steroids, but steroids can suppress it, and antihistamines can suppress it. And that's why they give you prednisone and Benadryl if you have itching. But the question is what is turning on those itch receptors or those itch nerves? What molecules are doing it? And it's typically molecules that are found in the liver. It can also be local molecules, but a big culprit is elements of bile. When bile is not being cleared correctly, it can accumulate, it can start to build up in the blood, and it will eventually find its way to the skin. So when you have unexplained itching that's happening all over the body, there's one of two things happening. Either you have the histamine problem, and that's an allergic reaction, and then I would be thinking food and food allergies. If it's chronic and it's long term, I would be thinking about the liver. And I would be thinking about bile and anything that you're ingesting that puts a stress on the liver or that keeps bile from being cleared out. If it's happening and you're older and your body's kind of falling apart, that's a major red flag. That means your liver's starting to break down. So if you have a chronic long-term health challenge, an autoimmune disease, for example, and this starts to happen, we have itching all over the body, you've probably got some serious liver things going on. For this gal, if you say she's had it since she was a kid, I would be guessing that she was eating the wrong thing for a long period of time and nobody told her.
Oh, yeah.
That would be my guess. Yeah, so I'd be working on digestive health for her. Now, you were going to ask me about specific supplements or specific protocol?
Yeah, let me tell you what I mean, because of course I know everything's about energy, and of course I've had her fasting and on the keto diet and bringing down the calories way down. And I know helping clear estrogen, because I know if you have a thyroid problem, you're also going to have estrogen problems too.
You got Jeff. You are learning good, buddy. You've got it down.
I'm starting my own healing business. It's going to be actually called Quantum Levels Healing, because I know everything starts at a quantum level.
Everything is quantum. You got it, buddy. You got it. Hang on. That's a very powerful idea that you just said, because I don't even talk about it because it sounds so. First, it sounds so airy-fairy on the one hand, and then it sounds so extreme science on the other. It is both, and but it doesn't really matter when it comes to health and healing. Yes, it's out there, and yes, it's extreme science, but you hit the nail on the head. It's all about the quantum. When we talk about the mitochondria and we talk about energy and we're talking about the molecules that are helping the energy work, helping the protein, fat, and sugar work, what we're talking about is a quantum phenomena. And quantum is extremely important to understand. Let me tell you why quantum is so important, Jeff. And you'll love this, okay? I want you to listen up, because this is right in your wheelhouse, what I'm about to say, okay? Ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So quantum is so important to recognize as the fundamental place where the body shows up, healthy or otherwise, because the mind and quantum are completely interrelated. This is where the mind controls the body, at the level of the quantum. And anybody who does not believe this doesn't understand quantum mechanics. The fundamental idea of quantum is that the mind is unified with what shows up in the world. That's the consciousness principle. The idea that consciousness controls everything is quantum. And that's where the mind controls the body. The mind is the consciousness, controls the body at the level of the quantum. And that's so important. You hit the nail on the head, Jeff.
Yeah, and I figured my business, everything has to be quantum, thoughts, energy, cells, everything
all
is at that quantum level that you can't see. So
you can't see it, right? The invisible world leads to the visible world. Correct. Bingo.
That's my whole business is going to be based on is healing through quantum.
Love it. Love it.
I know that she has high estrogen, so cruciferous vegetables, flaxseed, bile salts, balancing the estrogen with pregnenolone and progesterone, and of course the digestive health with probiotics, apple cider vinegar, digestive enzymes. And what I've been having her do is, of course, low calories, MCT, probiotics.
It's all awesome. It's all. She's in good hands. Make sure she's evacuating her bowel. Make sure she's evacuating her bowels all the time, regularly, even colonics.
Yeah. And then she's doing this, like I said, the alcohol that is digested with every meal. The EFA plus, she has the healthy starch pack, 50 milligrams of zinc, 20,000 A and 400 IU E, flaxseed. Himalayan
sunshine. Don't forget the sunshine. Sunshine.
Sauerkraut, avocado.
Hey, Jeffrey, get her out in the sun.
Okay. We're going to listen to this show after. And she's on 125 milligrams of Synthroid and Zyrtec for the hives, of course. Which,
it's not helping her any. But your protocol is going to help her way more. And you're doing a great job, Jeff.
And one thing, real quick, she said, I don't know, because I've read a lot of different studies. What do you think about iodoral? Should she be taking that or not?
Yes, I would. If it was me, I would take it. Iodoral, maybe 25.
I know you require 150 micrograms a day.
I would take more than that. I would take. That's like the basic bare bones requirement. I'd take a milligram or 1.2 milligrams or something. I forgot how it comes.
And how about oxbile?
It's great for her, especially lecithin granules.
Yeah,
anything you do to clear out that estrogen. Anything you do to clear out the estrogen. Without a thyroid, she's not going to be clearing out estrogen anywhere near as effectively as she needs to. I got to motivate my friend.
Well, real quick, but she says she's having a lot of jitteriness and feels like the graves again from the BTT.
No, remember I told you that, I told somebody yesterday, if you're spiking cortisol, if you're already, and she has got to be, without a thyroid, she's running on cortisol. So if your cortisol's high, you're going to be jittery. You're going to tend toward jitteriness, and when you start to take nutritional supplements, they're going to amplify that. The problem is not the supplements, though, because she's just not handling energy correctly. She has to make sure she practices conscious, volitional, That is voluntary, regular, daily, several times a day, relaxation techniques. It's critical for her. Critical.
Okay.
That means
she does have a high-stress job.
I'm talking every hour. Have her put a timer on her iPhone or her smartphone, whatever. Every hour, she should take a minute to just relax. You know, we should all do this, really, but especially without a thyroid. All right, I want to get one more call in. Thanks for calling.
Everything I'm doing, I'm on point.
You're doing a great job, man. I'm really impressed. Thanks, Jeff. Take care, man. All right, let's go to Mamta in North Carolina. Good morning, Mamta.
Good morning, Pharmacist Ben. I was just calling today about my husband's condition. He was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis about 10 years ago, and initially he was on things like, he's been on a whole bunch of sulfasalazine, indomethacin. We switched his diet. We were talking to an immunologist back in the day, and so he's been starch-free, grain-free for a long time now.
How did that help? Did that make a difference when you went starch-free and grain-free?
It did. I think, unfortunately, what happened was that didn't really cut it. And about 5 years ago, we had to get him onto biologics, which both of us hate. So he's been on Remicade.
How are the biologics working for him?
Getting to that, so he's been on Remicade for 5 years, and as you would probably expect, Remicade has now stopped working, and so now his rheumatologist is suggesting a different biologic.
A different one.
So we have been on the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack for.
It's more than that, Mamta, and I only have about a minute to talk to you, or maybe 2 minutes here. So let me just explain.
I'm just going to hear you in terms of what I'd like to know is what dose, because I heard you say that if it's the wrong dose, you might as well not take
dose
it.
Dose of what?
Resonated.
Wrong dose of what?
Whatever he should be taking, longevity.
Okay, so here's the thing
everything.
about. I'm not even going to go into the doses. I want to just tell you the theory, because you sound like a smart lady. Okay? Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm a pharmacist and a neurotoxicologist.
I knew you were a smart lady.
And I work at the National Institutes of Health, so it really resonates. Like longevity conceptually just resonates with us.
Have I said anything that does not pass muster with the scientific model? Or with the medical model?
No, not at all. No,
everything.
And that's why I'm on the show. I just feel like we need more help.
Let me give you the logic. I love that you're a pharmacist. In fact, I want to talk to you personally. So I want you to send me an email to ben@ksco.com. Put your phone number in there, and I want to talk to you personally. But I just want to tell you the logic to autoimmunity. It's extremely important to understand, and it makes perfect sense when I explain it to you. Okay? Autoimmunity is the body responding to some kind of offending agent that is inside the blood. Or in tissues that started in blood to get to the tissues that start in the blood. So it's responding to offending agent. That offending agent can be something that's ingested at first, and then it could be distorted tissue that has become distorted as these offending agents and immune complexes deposit in the skin. They're called circulating immune complexes. Have you heard of this term? Okay, so circulating immune complex deposit in the various tissues, the nerves, the muscles, the organs, various tissues in the body, and then the immune system attacks. The key to understand is how toxins get into the blood. That happens through a leaky gut. Patch up the leaky gut. Now, it's very important because you're a pharmacist, you're going to understand everything I'm talking about, and I want to spend more time with you. So please send an email. I wish I had more time to talk, but we're just out of time. Okay, send an email, ben@ksco.com. Thank you so much, Mamta, and thank you to everybody for listening. I'm pharmacist.